is Warriors Anonymous.
All right, welcome back, Warriors fans. It seems like not that long ago, boys, that we were on here on this podcast just sort of chatting about like the good times. Things are going well. We were winning lots of games. But at the same time, we were also saying, you know what? Our points differential could well come back to bite us in the ass at some point. And we've reached that point of the season. Congratulations, everyone. Lads, let's start with a quick huddle now, because we obviously witnessed an eventful game, controversial, some may say, against the Parramatta Eels. I want to go first of all in regards to the fourth placing on the NRL ladder. Hard or nah, is fourth place gone for us? Isaac, we'll start with you.
Mathematically, no. So Brisbane needs to lose to the Storm, right?
Correct.
And is Cronulla in the mix as well? They are, right?
Yeah, they need to lose.
And who are they playing? The Bulldogs. So that helps. But then again, we're playing Manly at home, and they have come into a little bit of form. I'd have to say. So it's going to be a tough one. But fourth is not out of the question. It's still within reach.
Yeah, nice.
I was not expecting that response from Isaac.
I know, me of all people.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, fuck, don't hit you on the ass. It's gone. Yeah, I know. It's a whole new Isaac.
Funny things happen when that happens. Daniel, is fourth place gone, bro? Hard or nah?
At like 5:59, I would have gone. Later bowl, it's hard gone. But the team naming has just thrown us a lifeline. I'm intrigued, although whatever lines up doesn't necessarily start on Saturday.
Fraser, lifeline.
Ducks and Drakes, lifeline. But slight lifeline, because it looks like the Storm and the Dogs have named close to full-strength teams. Interesting. And I think perhaps it's got to do with their own form coming in. So, yeah. But obviously there's three things that have to happen, right? As well. Two out of our control, one in our control, but be out of our control the way we've been controlling things. But anyway.
We were in control, and then we just lost control right in the last little bits, and that kind of killed us. But
was it Eric Carmen make me lose control? Baby, when I look at your eyes, I go crazy.
I go crazy, like literally watching the game sometimes. Lads, let's follow up with a quick hard or nah as well. Just to follow up, slightly controversial. I don't want to say this in a manner of being critical. It's probably more constructive. So I just want people to take it that way. We'll start with you, Isaac. Do we win that game against Parramatta if we had Tuopiki at fullback?
Fuck you, G.
Fuck you, man.
I reckon we end up in the same position. There's just the way the game flowed. We end up in the same position. If you're talking about the one try where C&K just got absolutely bamboozled, maybe Tuopiki stops him. He probably does. But with everything the way that went on, I don't think much would have changed.
I mean, Lisa, you've got to just look at both game styles and kind of, Chan's running meters puts us in better position in territory to have attacking plays that intersects. Payne might not get as much, but can also add a little bit to the run game defensively, as Isaac has pointed out. But I think maybe just on attack, there might have been a couple of occasions where Tane's silkiness, his ball play out the back, might have just unlocked a couple of things. So, yeah, it is a tough thing to say. I don't know for sure. No one knows. It didn't happen, but it is a big consideration. Like, if we can't score enough points, and you look at the competition leaders with the contributions they get from their fullbacks, mainly Storm and the Broncos, really, I'd say. They just have fullbacks that, can cut teams to shreds. So, yeah, it's difficult, man, but you can't play them all.
That's very, very diplomatic of you there, Daniel. And a little bit surprised as well. In fact, I've noticed it's been a few days since Friday night, and I noticed that there's been a fair amount of steam subsiding from all of us, which is, maybe a good thing. Because possibly if we'd done this podcast a little bit earlier, the responses may have been slightly different. But in terms of things that we don't know or are not, say, conclusive, let's have a chat about the that try, the old the finger wobble of 2025. It's becoming one of those great mysteries. Who shot JFK, the Loch Ness monster, and now did Dimitri knock it on? Isaac, run me through. Well, first of all, take me back to Friday. Take me back there in the moment. Give it to me. Give the whole lot of what's going on in your mind.
Okay, Pompey scores. I'm jumping up and down, hooting, hollering, yelling, waiting for try confirmed. Here we go. I know where this is going. This is hello darkness, my old friend. Hello darkness, my old friend. It's gonna be no try again. And that's exactly what happened. No try. Was I surprised? No. Was I pissed off? Yes. But in hindsight, I've gotten over it.
Wow. Okay.
Which is weird to say for me. Weird to say.
It was very very again diplomatic, shall we say? Daniel, I'm going to my point on this whole thing hasn't changed, and I've tried to keep it nice and consistent. Even in the moment, I was like, well, the fact of the matter is, it went up as a try. So therefore, our old friend, Hello Darkness, conclusive evidence to overturn it. Run me through how you saw that play and what went down with the reversing of the decision.
Well, I mean, I was just hoping that he didn't get a touch and there wasn't any clear evidence, but look, I have to agree. The player has come out, so Dimitri did say he touched the ball. It is the faintest of touch, the finger waggle, as you may want to call it, the little hot hands.
Spirit fingers.
Yeah.
So again, sometimes I don't apply the same kind of. Well, some weeks say apply like AI to it, right? Oh yeah, so that looked like it would have happened, so we'll just assume it is. Oh, that looked like it's over the line, and we'll put his body in this frame and then them over the line, and we'll just say it's a try as well. So it was kind of like not as bad as that, but like I just come back to the fact that I'm obviously touched the ball. You could see that, but like in the direction he is passing his hands, he is going back to his goalposts. Like this is the thing, and again, it comes back to the laws of the game, right? Like anything really is dropped as a knock on, and I just think they need to revisit it as well. I know this isn't part of this particular play, but we saw later that night or the next day, I can't remember which day it was, another forward pass howler as well. Not as bad as the one against us in the prelim final 2 years ago, Reece Walsh, sort of quarterbacked it in front of him to Jesse Arthurs or whoever. But
Go route, yep.
Yeah. Fire out.
That comes back again to like, there's no other sport that has a video referee service that can't rule over a play like that. It's that and those, and again, this is not. It's intertwined a little bit. It's the laws of the game thing for me. Like I guess they're referring to the laws of the game, and I just think there's a review really on the knock on stuff. They just got to get a little bit more. Would you put it like? I guess we just know that if you drop the ball, there's a knock on. It's like touch. And that frustrates me. And then you just go back to the laws of the game, and howlers like that as well, the forward pass. I know they're not necessarily connected, but in the big scheme of things, the refs, the bunkers are just reffing to the laws.
I think it's one of those ones as well where, in terms of common sense, I think they probably got it right. I think they made the right call.
Safety, safe.
Yeah,
safe,
that's right. But
safe.
all they did was they kind of contravened their own sort of rules
Process.
in terms of exactly. And you could see it. There was a few moments earlier where we got one where Chance had gone up to try and catch the ball, and there was again someone sort of jumping high up to
in his face. Yeah, remember that?
and the ball sort of went through, and they deemed that to be, there was no finger wobbles. They deemed that to be inconclusive. We kept the ball, Para kept the challenge. So that ruling there a few minutes later was all of a sudden a completely different thought process for what they were doing. So I think, I think that's probably, it's disappointing, but I guess deep down, I think if I was looking at it, I would have called it. If we're hard or nah, then it's a knock on. I'm okay with that. I guess it's just how they frame it, and you kind of get your hopes up.
You're stinging from Magic Round still, right? Like, I think this thing comes from there, and I feel like we haven't had any. The process applied to us is just changed to, and we've been on the opposite side of what the call should have been as well. And it sucks. We've had tries ruled out. The Wade Egan one. When he's deemed to be double movement, and all he's doing is just falling back and putting his arm back as well. And then there's another one the week after where there's a slide roll around in the wet, and then a little bit of a, they're applying those things, and we're just getting dudded on those processes as well. Sucks. I mean, the other thing I was annoyed on is more so there was a number of minor kind of missed calls throughout the game, which add to our own errors as well. And then you're just putting yourself behind the 8 ball as well, which is a shame because I thought for actually most of the game we were the dominant team,
100%
as well. But their dominance in terms of statistics and meters and bits and pieces didn't translate.
It's nothing. Yeah, we're dominant in a lot of games, I feel like, but we're not threatening. There's a difference between the two. We don't threaten the opposition with points. It's like stacks on the mill. Warriors hot on attack, giving the other team the heebie-jeebies. We dominate the stats. We dominate field position. We dominate possession. But I don't think teams are too worried about us scoring points. So it's kind of a moot point when we dominate games, when they can just turn it around and get two or three plays and they score against us. That's what really fucks me off. Like that Jack Williams try that just came out of nowhere. That really shouldn't have. So
kind of came out of scrambling, right? Like under pressure. So
there was numbers there. There was numbers to cover, and it was Waiting that got beat, I think, with a step back on the inside. It just looked really, really lame. Like it just looked far too easy for a guy. Jack Williams, like he's a good player, but for someone to do that, it just it really stood out to me.
I think in that situation though, they were coming off the break, and that was a stressed, like an insertion down the field, so there's scrambling and as well. But I mean, I know where you're coming from. I mean, there was some soft moments here, and look, you're right with that. I think where we started, and look, his DNA is to, and we saw this in 23, is we just played this and teams beat themselves, right? We slow cooked them. This we came up with the catchphrase as we put them in the slow cooker as well. But teams can also make errors and not get themselves out of their own half as well as we may do. But now it doesn't necessarily cost them the game, right? Because if they've got enough strike, and that's probably it comes down to that strike, and that ability to score points in different scenarios. Which you sum that up there. I know I've heard it around, people just saying we just don't have the killer instinct to kind of really put the teams to the sword. And even there's only been really one game this season where I think it all clicked and connected, and we love that Sharks game, mate. We just and actually it was a tight half. We forget about it. It was a tight at half time, and we just blew them off the park. So yeah.
Yeah,
I just feel like we don't have the polish and attack that we had in the 2023 year, when DWZ scored all those points. And we talk about Tain Tupiki's ability to ball play. Funnily enough, in 2023, who was the ball player most of the time to DWZ on that wing when he scored all those tries? It was Chance. It looked smooth as silk. They were just running like a well-oiled machine, and we just haven't been able to capture that magic since that year. Because that year we looked threatening with the ball in hand because we were just polished.
There's also, I think, Shawnee. Like you see him now
out of the picture, yeah.
game, but you understand like how well he knows the game, and like he talks about, and it's easy to sit back in hindsight and he can look at screens and bits and pieces, but there was one thing I saw him talk about a few weeks ago. It would have been about a Panthers try where they did a kick on play 2 in the end goal, but it was all about kind of stressing, looking for options, and then someone got bored. Teddy got bored into the line as well, and on play 2, like they pulled the trigger and did it, and like I think, yeah, maybe no disrespect to Tanner and to Luke who are building their games, but they're not at an elite halfback level of knowing where players are out of position, knowing looks to get as well, which they'll be learning. And I think Luke had his own capability, right? We saw that he put the shits up the defences because they knew that if they gave him the wrong look, he'd go himself. And we saw how many points he created when he just played, backyard footy as well. So, but yeah, I mean, I think there was a Dragons game we played in 23 where we just scored at will, in those situations, and Dallin just had, walk-in tries, inside the 20 where they just kind of, took some shape, played guy under, fake, and then bang, hit their players. Yeah, we haven't did it. I mean, we did a couple of little pieces on Saturday. I think Pompey's first try. I was like, right, that's good. Left side attack, right? Like that's what we want to do. But then there was a period of time it was just, we had plenty of tries, plenty of play the balls in those territories, but we just couldn't manipulate until we got to rocket up our ass in the last sort of quarter of the game, and we came
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like the like sometimes when you ideally if you put something in the slow cooker, it just flicks and falls apart and it's delicious. Sometimes their shit goes chewy.
Yeah, you've overcooked it.
Yeah, and that's when we choke on that shit. So, so yeah, in-depth analysis still stands. Probably a disappointing couple of efforts by a couple of the more senior players at times, but I will say that I was really impressed by some of the effort plays by the younger boys. That being, first of all, our guy Tanner Stowers-Smith being the only person covering on that little breakaway that Parramatta had. Eventually they went on to go and score a couple of tackles later, but he was the guy. If he wasn't there to run down the Para dude who had a lead on him, it was going to be a try straight off. So I thought that was highly impressive to actually see the speed that he's got. I was probably a little bit disappointed that there weren't, other people around covering that as opposed to him having to do it. But also two guys on that, that finger wobble, no try. And that was, Dimitrik got right up there, and on his shoulder was Lecker as well. And I did notice that, going back to the Knights game and that, that match winner, Lecker obviously, did what he did and got all the headlines. But the guy who was running, like steaming on right next to him, that was Dimitrik as well. And I just thought, that's some really good efforts late in the game. These boys, they were a bit fresh from the bench, which was helpful. But I just, I think that just shows some real good mentality amongst these young guys, which is exciting.
Not only that, but you talk about these young guys. You talk about Eddie as well. Like they've got significant fitness. Can you hear some shit in the background?
It was almost like
it
was like a crowd reacting in the background. So I was like saying
Bro,
something, and they were like,
I won't go to eat it.
some shenanigans going there. They've got
Somebody getting
significant
grounded.
levels of fitness, like strength and fitness, and no disrespect, but that's probably been the Achilles heel for our talented Māori Pacific Island talent as well. We've got, fast twitch fibers, strength, power up the wazoo, but under fatigue, no.
Yeah.
Or their decision making and their playing ability. They're clearly, that's where you look for athletes, and what makes a different athlete. The ability to keep a high performance under fatigue and pressure. Just great signs to build this into these guys as well, such a young age. The other point I was going to make you talk about Tanner dropping back, and again another good engine as well. But people have been asking for why aren't we attacking our kicks? Why aren't we going out for kicks, that sort of thing? And don't get me wrong, I think kicking, you need to attack your kicks as well. But the perils of doing that, people, and if you not set your structure and defence, is we saw on Friday night. 2 examples. I mean, unlucky. They are unlucky, right? Like Rocco goes this close to putting it down. He actually touches it and scoots out. It lands to the only man in the whole stadium you don't want it to land to. And the Fox is gone. Shut the gate, because you're going hard for it as well. And the same scenario as well. We win the ball, we throw it out wide, it bounces out, and next thing, kind of comes off his arm. And they run 60 meters as well. So it's that rubber, the green. We were just unlucky in those scenarios. We didn't also do ourselves any favors in some other scenarios, but I guess it's footy, they're kind of like 12-point tries.
Our mate,
12-point swing.
Our mate Levon's done a good breakdown of that very try and what went wrong on it. So I would definitely recommend everyone have a look at Wise Up, and just have a look at a little breakdown of that on Instagram, or I think it's on YouTube as well, because it does answer a lot of questions. Because before I saw that breakdown, I was actually hanging out for it, thinking I hope Levon does a breakdown on this, because I was a little bit unsure. But I was actually hugely disappointed with the play of what Dallin did. It wasn't as though he had gone and over pursued the ball. Like, he was there. He was right there, and he just kind of just that thing run straight past him. And it was like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, I was hugely disappointed with that, just to put the boot into him one more time before the season finishes, the regular season anyway. Now, Wade Egan, he's been reported as having a hip injury, out for this week against Manly. And Isaac, it was probably quite clear to see he wasn't on his A game. And when Te Maire Martin came on, even though we were down by about 50 points, the game it seemed to just swing, straight away.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Wade's been a bit off his game for a little while now, but I don't know if it's down to form or just straight up niggles. He just doesn't seem quite there. By the same token, though, he is still pulling some strings in the game, and he is manipulating opportunities around the park. I kind of feel like in those instances when he is working his magic, he's not really getting enough support. I don't know if you guys feel that same way, but he does a little bit of a dart, a dummy half, throws a dummy, pokes his head through a gap. He's done it a few times under duress, injury, but he doesn't seem to have the backup there. I think maybe for most of the season he's been like that as well, where he's been attacking up the middle and he doesn't have any support. But he's not in top form. He's not at that level where we thought he was banging on the door of Origin, right? So it might be good for him to get a reset before the finals, because I think we're going to need him. Yeah,
it's been interesting to watch. Like, there's been a couple of hints both this year and last year. I'm thinking back to, I think it might have been the early Tigers game, where Wade kind of did exactly what you said, poked through the line, went through, and he had 2 guys supporting, Metcalf and I think Chanel. Bang, bang, try. Like, but we've only kind of just seen it in real, just tiny glimpses, which is a little bit sort of I know it's a little bit frustrating because we're kind of hoping that we can have someone off his shoulder, knowing what he does, and how he does it. But
So do you
Well,
think
that's the
there's
thing.
a situation where, like, again, these are picking up, being very picky, and it's not sort of no disrespect to the play of Chance, but do you think there's perhaps some room for him to not make some carries and leave some carries for Dallin and Roger? I mean, they're all carrying, right, as well. But maybe in some sets he's not to carry like that, but he has to be behind the play the ball, so that if something does come up, like a Ryan Pappenhausen, like a Reece
Pappenhausen,
Walsh,
yep,
like
that
a Billy
they can
Slater.
react. He can react, but at least they react. They didn't see. I mean, I know it's part of the DNA of his style. They talk on the running back and the way they work, but maybe just stay off that sometimes as well. Give yourself that space
Hmm.
to I mean, it might mean that you're not getting a carry in a set. Again, who's going to replace that work? Because there's a lot of work, right? He does do. It doesn't have to be all the time, but it must. Yeah, I think you've got to maybe consider the situation. There should be some comms going on if Wade feels like he's poking through a little bit, or at least he feels that there's opportunity there. Perhaps Chance just sticks with him, and if it's Tane, they stick with him. Yeah, just love to see that as well. Which again, being picky because obviously he's running 300 meters in different scenarios.
Yeah, but he could run 300 meters by a support player as well. Like I get where you're coming from. Like they see him as a workhorse, which he is. He's got a big motor, but I'd like to see him use that motor for support work more so. Like I know he's got those 300 meters in carries, but surely amongst that back five, they can share it between the other four players for that 300 meters and let Chance maybe concentrate on support work up the middle of the park.
Yeah,
I'd like to see more of that because, back to that play against the Tigers, Wade, Metcalf, Chanel, boom, try. Like, why wouldn't you keep going back to the well if you know that's worked? If you know that Wade is going to poke his head through or bend the line in some way, shape, or form, why wouldn't you keep going back to the well
yep.
and being like, it's not broke, don't fix it? I mean, again, they did it back in 2023 with DWZ. It wasn't broke. Don't need to fix it. Let's just keep going there until other teams decide to shut us down. And that teams didn't shut us down that year. Yeah, I do appreciate at Chance's meters from the back 300 meters. It's an insane amount, but surely they can share those meters across that back five. Roger does 2 bloody hit ups most of the time anyway himself. You can't share that out to Adam Pompey. You can't share that out to Rocco and let
yeah.
Chance work the middle.
Put it this way, just in terms of just runs, Chance had 32 runs, the most, followed by Roger, 29. Dallin had 17. Pompey had 13. Rocco had 9. So if you could take 8 runs off Chance and distribute them between Dallin, Pompey, and Rocco, and actually boost Rocco's runs. I know they use Rocco a lot on kick chase as well, so he's expending energy that way. You might just free Chance up, just to have maybe like, again, 8 sets where they go, look, I want positioned in a certain part of the field. It won't necessarily be when we're in their half, maybe. It's probably when we're now sort of 30 or 40, tackle 3 or something like that, where we've got a good play the ball. Roger does a good, and Roger and Dallin both been bending the line. Roger in particular is getting free. A quick play the ball. You've got, you've got Wade making a dart, and then you've got Chance off the back of him as well.
Yeah, and we talk about Tane being the ball player. I honestly think Chance has got ball player in him, but he's too tired to fucking do it. He's too cooked. He's too cooked.
And I don't know how healthy he is. He's got a healthily strapped up leg, and a lot of his runs, you just kind of look and it just looks quite labored, and you're like, oh man, like obviously he is cooked because he's been put in the slow cooker as well, alongside the chewy fucking eel. But yeah, like it's probably a matter of I don't know how we go about that, but I do notice he has been named. Well, basically the same team's been named essentially to take on Manly. except for maybe Sam Healy coming in to replace Wade. But this is a big, potentially a big game because, as you said earlier, Daniel, Melbourne, they're annoyed that they got pumped last week. Bellyache's got the troops going up to Brisbane ready to bloody cook some Broncos.
Was it a milestone game for him?
It was. It was the 600th.
Yeah, it was the 600th game.
So
he's so funny, eh? Like they don't like. Again, I love it. They want to go hard, but their positions can't change. But anyway, do it. Bellies just wants vengeance, eh? And it's Broncos.
Yep, he wants to make a statement before the finals. That's what he wants to do. He's a smart man. He's like, let me stomp out the Broncos before the finals and put the shits up everybody. It's a good play.
Absolutely. Sorry about the noise in the background, but Julius is just still trying to digest the inconclusive evidence. But the Bulldogs game as well. Bulldogs versus Sharks. The Bulldogs, they're loading up as well, so they don't want to muck around. There's no Ivan Cleary shenanigans going on this week. We arrested the entire city of Penrith. So there's an opportunity there potentially. Obviously, we just can control what we can control, but we are going to be up against a Manly team, which is they're coming off 2 wins in a row. They've flashed throughout the season some good signs, some not so. This is going to be the final game for Daly Cherry Evans at Brookvale. So how do we overcome that emotion that they're going to be sending at us on Friday night, Isaac?
So I got a little bit distracted by the crying.
Triggered.
And a customer texted me as well. So what was that? Mind repeating that?
Yes. How do we overcome the emotion of DCE's last game in Manly?
Oh, I don't know. That's a really tough one. And like I said, Manly have been coming back into a bit of form. They've got nothing to lose, and Daly Cherry Evans has probably got history with us, pretty good history as well. He's been the bane of the Warriors' existence for a long time, so I'm sure he's got a DCE special up his sleeve.
Was it his first year he won the premiership with them?
Yep,
correct.
Yep,
against us.
Him and Foz.
Yep, him and Foz. Yeah,
haven't been to the well since.
Yeah.
Yep,
right.
Sean Johnson's debut year as well. They debuted at the same time,
What a
pretty
year
much.
of rookies, holy moly.
Holy moly. But yeah, over the years, DCE, left foot drop goals and all this sort of shit going on against the Warriors. Used to be, if Manly want to play themselves into form, play the Warriors. So, yeah, it's going to be a really tough game, this one. One thing has made me a little bit confident, they don't have as much speed in the team because they're missing Koala?
Cola? Yeah.
Kola, thank you. Sorry, Kola. Because that guy is scary. He is vicious, the boy.
He's lightning.
Lightning.
Julius is just here to come and give his input. Come here.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, brother.
Like I know it wasn't clearly and obviously forward, and it went up as a try, but we just can't. We can't live in these margins, son. We can't let them, take that away from us. We've got to be
Up the wires, son. Up the wires.
What's your thoughts, bro? Can we take our slow cooker, the old crock pot, over to Manly, chuck them in it, and make them actually flake this time?
I think we can. I mean, I think Sea Eagle is a pretty tough bird, at the best of times.
Gamey.
Gamey.
Yeah, gamey.
But I think we can, and just because they love to fade in and out this version of the Sea Eagles, they can play some scintillating stuff, and you watch them. And they did in the weekend as well. But there's periods where, they're not really up to much as well. So, it really depends what you get. I mean, yes, they'll have the emotion of DCE, but we all know milestone and emotion games actually can be detrimental to you as well. We've got our man on the inside. I think the funniest.
The mole.
Jazzy.
The mole. Jazzy, it's a double motivation because he wanted to get one over the boys, as well. But at the same time, he might
want to let's get to a top 4 position.
Sleeper cell.
Sleeper cell, yeah.
Activation.
I think he would actually do that, eh? Like he would probably if it was on the line or something like that, and he'd probably do something like that. But yeah. Ola last week was, before he got injured, absolutely gave that guy he was up against a bath. It was impressive as well. But without that bit of speed, you got the Saab, and that guy's fast. And it's a speed, and we know, Julius, you're fast. He's really fast, boy?
Is he really fast? How fast is he? Is he faster than Miles? He's a bit faster than Miles. I think actually Miles is pretty fast.
Right.
I mean, I can't catch him. That's not saying much. Odd man calves. All right, boys. What are we thinking for? Give us a quick. Sorry, are we boring you to sleep? Are we? Give us a quick prediction for the game against Manly. We'll start with you, Isaac, bro. What are you thinking?
Oh my god! Can I be really honest?
Go for it, bro.
Oh my god! I think Manly pull it out. I think the occasion is going to be big. It's at Brookie, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think Manly come out on top. 28-20.
28-20. Okay. Yeah.
Sostradamus. Yeah.
Honestly,
Sorry,
I don't
boys.
think it's a. I wouldn't call it a shocking prediction. Like Manly have had some pretty good scalps over there, and because it'll be an occasion, so the crowd's going to be raucous and in your face. Daniel, what's your thoughts, bro?
Oh, we're gonna win. We're gonna win Golden Point. I'm going Golden Point again.
Ooh.
And I think this will be a blessing in disguise in terms of getting to Golden Point.
Mm-hmm.
But 25-24, and Tanner's going to do the job.
Ooh, I like that.
Dennis Dale Smith, great, yeah.
Yeah.
He can do it all.
Be something.
And then he's going to have the cheat meals.
Yeah.
And so am I.
Bro.
Jerry Susu the second.
That'll be free cheat meals for life, bro, if you do that. Holy moly. All right, boys. It's been fun. I'm quite surprised that we were very... I thought we were going to be a little bit more... What's the word? Emotional.
Off.
I mean, just put it into context, the season, right? Like, the expectations weren't there. Let's be really, really, really honest. Yeah, I mean, we are hopes and aspirations, but fourth would be fantastic, but we would have all settled for an 8 with the level of where the squad is, the team is as well, to comfortably finish in the 8. Actually, that's, you got to just hand it to the team. And I mean, it's not just about making that as well, but that's your first milestone. Look, who knows? Whether we're complete outsiders to do anything in the finals. Win any game, win our game, whatever it may be. But I just love the fact that the future of the club getting exposed to absolute competitive, high quality football and standing up as well at the moment. Are actually doing well. So. And it's all upside, man. Honestly, as a fan, we got to celebrate that.
Glass half full.
Yeah.
We
want more.
There's heaps more positives to take out of this year.
Absolutely.
Heaps more after everything that's gone on. When you lose some of your best players, the outcome of that with all the young guns coming through, I mean, it makes you even more excited for next year. I think if you rewind the tape, at the start of this year, I think I said we scrape into the 8 at 8. So to be on the cusp of the top 4, at worst 6, that's a fucking achievement right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You did right. I mean, I didn't think we were going to make the 8 this year. Just kind of wanted to see, kind of excited to see some, the green shoots sort of sprouting with the new team and that. But I honestly would not have picked us to be in the spot that we are if Marty McFly had gone back in the DeLorean back to bloody February 2025 and said, hey, bro, the Warriors are going to finish between 4th and 6th. I'd be like, sign me the fuck up right now, bro. Like I'm down with that. Let's go, man. So yeah.
21 gigawatts.
Great Scott.
A bolt of lightning.
Also, there was some post that came up last week, and Must have been a para fan saying, "Look, let's settle the debate. It was a knock on. You lost the game. Blah 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 blah." And I just said to him, "All good. We'll get them back in the finals."
Oh, you
And I
went.
just love doing that to like, come on, what do you got? Oh, you're not playing finals footy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Excuse me. Final says what? Final says what? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. One of our fans didn't quite get it. Simon Mooker, unfortunately, is like, get who back? Eels aren't in the finals.
It's just.
Bro, I did the dot and the big eyes. Anyway. So look.
Yeah,
Banter
you
those,
you gotta love it, on social media. Sometimes people the joke just goes straight past them, and you're like,
Straight past
you're like, I
them.
really don't know how to help you. I'm sorry.
Read the chain.
Exactly.
You might catch the drift somewhere along the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't hold out hope, but hey,
Love
boys.
our
Also,
fans.
just before we go, a milestone as well for the New South Wales Cup team, with Kalani Going, the skipper, winning the New South Wales Cup Player of the Year. First
Chahoo.
Warriors player ever to do so. And much deserved. He's just been an absolute beast all season long. So, really cool. Mine Premiership and now the Player of the Year. Hopefully, they've got some more silverware coming up in a few weeks' time. Ooh, baby. But yeah, boys, thanks very much for jumping on, guys. Don't forget to jump to warriorsanonymous.co.nz. Get yourself some Warriors Anonymous merch. I gotta say, someone commented on the YouTube channel the other day going, "Oh, great coverage of the games, but the merch thing's a joke, right? Like we could just go to the Warriors website and get the stuff." So I had to kind of explain. I was like, "No, it's not a joke. It's Warriors Anonymous gear. That's us. That's us, bro." So so it's not a joke. It's serious. WarriorsAnonymous.co.nz. Get yours today, and look good. Not a joke. Absolutely. We did.
This is an official merch. This is Posty Plus, sorry.
Exactly.
So don't go to your local Posty Plus.
Daniel and Isaac, thank you very much for joining us, boys. We'll see what happens on Friday night. We'll flick on the fucking crock pot and hopefully steam up some fucking Eagles. Until then, up the wires. Go the Warriors. Got the Eagle?
La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar.